Well, hello my fellow alien abductees. Today we're back with some more X-Files and we're talking about Two Fathers. Premiering February 7th, 1999, Two Fathers drags us back into the mythology kicking and screaming as the Syndicate, alien rebels, and all your favorites return to muck about and do something. The episode begins with some doctors, but not our favorite medical doctor, slicing someone open who seems to bleed ecto-cooler. You know, I never got to have ecto-cooler. I don't think they sold it in Canada. Oh, I missed out on so much. Childhood trauma aside, a doctor pulls up and you know he's a doctor, because the episode tells us.
Dr. Openshaw, congratulations.
Congratulations, it's a slime. I don't know why they do all these medical procedures on trains. Don't they know how damn bumpy those things are? The doctor checks on their handiwork, but why are they being so coy about who it is? We all know it's the Fluke Man. I'd recognize those legs anywhere. Don't worry about this guy, he's clearly wearing his Halloween Part 4 The Return of Michael Myers mask. I hear it's flameproof. So our friends, the alien rebels, have returned, but if you're gonna bring them back, couldn't you have brought back Brian Thompson as well? Cassandra Spender? The last time we saw her, she was being abducted. Again! Cigarette Smoking Man then pops up, but he's such a downer. He's droning on about how it's nearing the end and how they built the perfect conspiracy. Could I get at least a little positivity here, please?
Aliens who are coming to reclaim this planet and to destroy all human life.
Alright, now we're back with the positivity. I would really love to know who the hell CSM is explaining the downfall of the alien colonization plan to, because it's definitely not Jeffrey Spender, who's hard at work on the X-Files. What I find kind of funny is Skinner gives Jeffrey shit for not really getting anything done on the X-Files, but at the same time when Mulder and Scully got things done, he gave them shit too, so I'm not exactly sure what he wants. Skin Man does have something that might interest Jeffrey though. Seems his mother is the only one who survived the rampaging alien rebel. Man, this poor lady really has a hard time when it comes to aliens.
I need to speak to Agent Mulder.
Something tells me he was looking for more of an I love you, but instead she's like, I would much rather talk to my adopted son Mulder. I like how Skinner and Spender are openly talking about his mother's alien abduction around normal everyday people. Back to story time with CSM, who continues to ramble on and is complaining about Mulder like always.
Hey, Milk, let's play ball. Your home style, cough up the rock.
Did he just call Mulder Milk? Is this a new nickname I'm just discovering right now? Anyways, Mulder gives up his basketball game for Scully, because of course he did. Although I would have done the exact same thing. Scully tells Mulder that someone has been trying to get a hold of him, and the moment she tells him it involves an X-File, his ass is right back to work. Surprisingly, it's Jeffrey that needs his help, but Mulder just sorta blows him off, even though Cassandra was the one that asked for him. Cigarette Smoking Man meets with the doctor from the beginning who's looking a little well done right now. The doc tells CSM that Cassandra is a success, meaning she is a full-on human-alien hybrid, and the rebels are going to use her to expose everything. How? I have no idea, but I guess it means she has to die. Also, because CSM's murderous side is a little rusty, he kills the doc so he can get himself back in the groove. It's always good to warm up before you start a workout. Anyway, CSM calls up one of his good buddies to tell him how everyone on the project is suddenly dying. He even plays off the doc dying as if he wasn't the one who turned off his oxygen. CSM then tells him they're getting the band back together, and by band, I mean the Syndicate are meeting up. But before his friend can pack his bags, he's got himself a little house guest.
Dr. Openshaw,
I've come to see you.
Oh, well that's terrifying. You know, I don't think he'll be making that meeting. In the meantime, Mulder's checking out some photos from the most recent Burning Man event. When Scully comes in and is all, hey, what's going on there, bud? Well, you know, just a little less Canadian. It seems like Mulder doesn't want to speak to Cassandra because he believes it'll somehow be used against him. But Scully is sort of desperate for Mulder to speak to her. It might help explain why she was also experimented on in the train cars. Anyway, Scully pays visit to Cassandra, who's enjoying a nice bowl of alien goo jello.
I hate Jell-O.
There's something about this woman's hair that just looks fake to me. I don't know what it is. Oh god, those are some yellow toenails. Well, at least Cassandra is able to walk again. Wait, why does it say no visitors and quarantine just outside Cassandra's room? Did Scully just walk into a quarantine space? It's a good thing Cassandra can walk now because Scully has a little surprise for her.
Oh my God, I think I'm gonna pee the floor.
Don't do that.
They don't really have much time for a happy reunion because they get right into depressing talk about Mulder's sister and Cassandra's abduction experiences. Even worse, she reveals that the aliens she thought were here to help are here to wipe us off the face of the planet and take over the entire universe. They sure are ambitious little guys.
By another race of aliens. A rebel force that are mutilating their faces so that they won't be infected.
But we already know that doesn't matter. We've seen several times already that the black oil can enter just about anywhere it damn well pleases. She also reveals that Jeffrey's life is also in danger because he's working with Cigarette Smoking Man, and that she knows all of this because she used to be married to him. Although she doesn't come out and say Cigarette Smoking Man, but I think Mulder's smart enough to figure it out. You know shit's hit the fan when the Syndicate are openly working with Krychek and not trying to kill him.
Why not side with the rebels?
He looks pretty good for a man that was just set on fire. What I love about this whole scene is Cigarette Smoking Man knows there's something up with this guy. So when Krychek goes on about how they've been developing a vaccine, CSM has to tell him to shut up because he's basically giving up their entire plan. At the FBI, Mulder and Scully use Jeffrey's computer to look into Cassandra's claim and discover that CSM has a real name. I'm pretty sure it's Cigarettes Give Bronchitis Spender.
Just go.
Assistant Director, I'll assume you came down to apprehend these agents for unauthorized entry into my office.
Can the rebel aliens just set him on fire already? Don't worry, he gets his. His own father smacks him in the face and says he pales to Fox Mulder. That's gotta suck. You do your dad's dirty work by getting Mulder and Scully fired. Well, maybe fired. And all he does is tell you you're a loser. I think Mulder will be fine though, just gives him more time to shoot hoops.
What's that?
CGB Spender. His name, Cigarette Smoking Man.
What's it stand for?
I already told you cigarettes give bronchitis. It seems like Scully has a treasure trove of goodies involving the Cigarette Smoking Man, including a photo of Mulder's father and CSM arguing, and the fact that Cassandra was abducted the same day as Samantha. Though knowing how the Cigarette Smoking Man is so sneaky, can any of this really be believed? Cigarette Smoking Man meets up with Jeffrey because he has another job for him. Hopefully this time he won't be a massive disappointment. Hey look, it's Mr. Stabby! See, I knew CSM knew that his buddy was an alien. Krychek really could have blown the whole thing for them. So it's Jeffrey's job to murder this imposter, which for any normal person it would be like, I have to do what? Don't worry though, he's not going it alone. He's got Krychek with him, and you can always count on Krychek to get the job done. Well, except for all those times where he didn't. Holy crap, he is bad at this. Thankfully, our stealthy assassin Krychek knew he would screw it up. But do you remember the good old days when the exposed alien blood would burn people's eyes and nearly kill them? Now it seems to do basically nothing. Mulder and Scully call Skin Man to Mulder's place so they can drop a ton of exposition on him. You know, alien colonization, Jeffrey's father being the Cigarette Smoking Man, all the fun stuff we've seen up to this point. They also tell him that Cassandra is the first successful alien-human hybrid, and that the Syndicate will do anything to kill her. Good thing she has round-the-clock security though. Security placed there by Jeffrey. Oh, that's not coming out of the carpet. It is nice that the green alien blood only affects you when it's convenient to the plot.
She's been the subject of an experiment for 25 years.
My father's involved in that? Is he?
Your father directs the experiments.
Holy shit, Krychek, can you go one day without spilling the beans to everyone? First you tell an alien rebel all about the plans with the vaccine, now you let it slip that CSM has been experimenting on Spender's mother for 25 years? This is why you don't get a Christmas card.
You've never betrayed me. Now I need someone to trust.
Oh god, not foully. So CSM's been telling this whole story to her, but I feel like she would have known a lot of this already. Skin Man stops by to see Cassandra, except oops, she's not there. It also feels like Jeffrey has finally come around and realized that maybe the people he's been associating with aren't exactly the best. Cassandra comes banging on Mulder's door because she wants him to shoot her. According to Cassandra, if they get a hold of her, it all starts. What? Two Fathers is a fine episode, but it is a lot of exposition and setup. It's always hard to talk about the first part of a two-parter without also talking about the second, but this one really does feel like all they're doing is laying the groundwork. Many portions of the episode are just Cigarette Smoking Man explaining what has happened or is happening with regards to the mythology arc. Even though it's revealed he's talking to Fowley at the end, it feels more like a refresher for fans that maybe have forgotten a few things since there is a lot to keep track of. Now maybe I missed something because that does happen, but I am confused as to why Cassandra wants to die. It's made very apparent that the Syndicate wants her dead, otherwise she might expose the plan. It's clear the rebels want her alive so she can expose the plan, but at the same time she says that if they get her, then it all starts. I'm sure it all makes sense in the next episode. Maybe. I do like that it appears that Jeffrey might be coming around, that maybe he's made a few wrong choices, but if it had not been for Krychek's big mouth, I don't know if he would have come to that conclusion himself. Overall a solid episode, but I have never been much of a mythology fan. The February 1999 sweeps period was a big deal for the X-Files. For weeks, Fox had been hyping up this mid-season two-parter with promises of full disclosure. They even ran a massive extravaganza marathon on FX, playing every mythology episode in order, leading up to the Two Fathers and One Son. Supposedly, these were the episodes that were finally going to explain it all. Of course, X-Files fans had heard that line before. The movie Fight the Future was also supposed to clear things up, but instead it just added more fuel to the fire. The problem was that the movie was written back when the show was supposed to end with season 5, but then Fox renewed it, so the writers had to keep the conspiracy going, which meant adding even more layers of shadowy government nonsense. Frank Spotnitz, who co-wrote both the movie and this two-parter, later admitted they kind of shot themselves in the foot by letting the movie get advertised with the tagline, "The truth is revealed." He said he didn't object to it at the time, but it was risky, because everyone's idea of the truth was different. To him, the movie did reveal what was going on in the conspiracy, but he realized a lot of fans expected the truth to be something else entirely, like what really happened to Samantha Mulder, which is the whole point of the show. David Duchovny agreed, saying the ads made it sound like everything would be tied up neatly, and well, it wasn't. Rob Bowman, who directed One Son, said the mythology had become so dense and talky that even die-hard fans were starting to have trouble keeping up. Duchovny admitted it was rough for anyone who didn't watch every week, and it made bringing in new viewers almost impossible, especially since Fight the Future leaned so hard into the conspiracy stuff, and not the standalone Monster of the Week stories the casual fans loved, which is funny because I'm not a casual fan, and the Monster of the Week stuff is what I love the most. Chris Carter, meanwhile, didn't see the mythology as confusing, just complex. He even said that's what made it so believable. And while the movie made almost 190 million worldwide, Carter and Spotnitz admitted it didn't bring in many new fans. Spotnitz said he was looking forward to the next movie, because by then the series would hopefully be over, and they could reinvent themselves. By late September 1998, Carter and Spotnitz had decided that it was time to finally blow up the Syndicate. They wanted to start fresh with a new direction that would carry into the season finale, Biogenesis. Carter said the goal of Two Fathers and One Son was to actually deliver on some of those long-promised answers, and all at once. Spotnitz added that when they sat down after the movie to write the next mythology episode, they realized the conspiracy had reached critical mass. It was way too tangled to add anything else, so they decided to go for broke and end it. Another reason for wrapping things up was Carter's plan to end the X-Files after season 7. He even said at the time, "I have another 28 episodes left. We've got to prepare for a big unravel." Spotnitz explained that after the movie they realized they talked plenty about aliens, but not enough about the people behind the conspiracy. Guys like Bill Mulder and the Cigarette Smoking Man, so Two Fathers One Son was meant to tackle all that, and their main inspiration was The Godfather Part 2. Spotnitz said they had two choices: keep making the conspiracy more complicated, or do something no one expected, blow it all up. So they chose chaos. They went back to the show's very beginning, the alien fetus from season 1's finale, and tied it all together, killing off the Syndicate and leaving CSM with nothing but smoke and ashes. Now Carter and Spotnitz denied it, but a lot of fans suspected another reason for killing off the Syndicate was purely financial. Since production had moved to Los Angeles, it was a lot cheaper not to keep flying those pesky Canadian Syndicate actors down every time they were needed. Originally, the plan was to tell much of the backstory in flashbacks, younger versions of Bill Mulder, Cigarette Smoking Man, and the Elders in the early 1970s, but Spotnitz said it just didn't work. Instead, they decided to have CSM narrate his own story, and those scenes were actually filmed after production had already wrapped. Spotnitz also said they weren't trying to make CSM sympathetic, just understandable. He was still the worst guy you can imagine, he said. Mitch Pileggi admitted that he had no idea what was going on in the conspiracy, and don't worry bud, because you're not alone. He literally said, "I just read my parts and play it as if I don't know what's going on." Duchovny later joked, "Whatever works for you. I can't believe he told people that." Manor said shooting in sunny LA still felt weird that season after all those years of moody Vancouver rain. Ironically, rain still ruined one of their Two Fathers scenes. The game of basketball that Mulder's having was supposed to be shot on the roof, but because of rain, it was shot indoors instead, and the floor inside was so loud that all the dialogue had to be looped afterwards. Duchovny didn't mind though, he loved any excuse to play basketball. Manor said he was so into it, he once bought the entire crew basketballs as gifts. There was also a deleted scene where CSM watches over Cassandra from the hospital hallway. Spotnitz said it was cut for time, and because the female FBI agent in the scene was wearing a wig that they didn't like. See, I knew there was something wrong with her hair.
Stupid ass haircut.
Two Fathers currently sits at 8.5 on IMDb. It's a good solid mythology episode, and I'll probably give it an 8. Up next, we have our conclusion as everything comes to a head, and we get a steamy shower scene in the episode One Son. So what do you think about Two Fathers? Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope I see you in the next one, and stay spooky.
Who is the cigarette-smoking man? What really happened to Mulder's sister? Who are the faceless rebels?
Mulder, what are you doing?
5 years of questions, 2 Sundays of answers. It's all led up to this.
There won't be any stopping it.
The X-Files Full Disclosure begins Sunday on Fox.
Huge thanks to all my channel members, you're the real MVPs of the Spooky Squad. Your support helps keep the lights flickering and the monsters fed. If you'd like to join up and help support the channel, check out the join button below. But no pressure, just watching and liking helps a ton too.